Just one question. The format that gets to the point. With Kai Magaldi and inspiring guests. Welcome today, the facilitator, Saeed Sadouk. Stay tuned.
Welcome to another episode of Just One Question, where we want to help you enhance or elevate your skills in presentation or communication. Tired of online meetings that feel like watching paint dry? My guest Saeed, also well known on social media as the facilitator, feels your pain. Inspired by dull virtual experiences, Saeed's on a mission to make online gathering fun and engaging. He is here to tell or perhaps show us how tech tools can transform those snooze fests into interactive, unforgettable events. Saeed, welcome. It's nice to have you here.
Hey Kai, thanks for having me.
Saeed, I know you from LinkedIn and also YouTube. You also call yourself Geek of Achievement.
Geek in Chief.
Geek in Chief, yeah. Why is that?
Because I like puns, and I am geeky in some way. So I play around with a lot of tools, with a lot of gadgets, try to figure out new ways to use all the technology I have or that is out there. So I think, I am kind of a geek, which is a positive thing nowadays. Back in the day, a geek was something that was, the guys were pushed around on the on school or anywhere else. But nowadays, being a geek is a cool thing. So I like to be a geek. And geek in chief is just because if you're a geek, why not being the chief of all geeks, right? So you should have goals and aim high.
That's a great goal, but I follow you on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and I think you deserve this name, in my opinion, because I'm really excited by your tips and tricks, what you showed other people. And the question now is, when we talk about online meetings or online workshops, and we all know them on Zoom, on Google Meet, on Teams, and so on. According to you, why should virtual meeting facilitators even consider using tech tools? What is your opinion about this, or your experience, perhaps?
I mean, I think we after a while everything gets boring. People may think we are using like Zoom, for example, for 4 years since the pandemic. No, we used other tools before, even Zoom before, but since the pandemic or since the lockdown, we were forced to use them. So maybe 4 years of getting used to using all these tools. And after a while, in the beginning it was exciting. In the beginning, there are breakout rooms, there are reactions, you can share your screen. This was so exciting because we never used them before, right? If you want to, virtual was grabbing the phone and calling somebody. This was as remote and virtual as it got before the pandemic. And now, I think it just gets boring, or another Zoom meeting. There is nothing exciting about the meeting technology, about the frame itself, and it even adds to, it doesn't matter what you are about to present. For example, I say this often, when I hear the word Zoom meeting, I just start to cringe. It's not because, it will be a boring training by itself, or it will be a boring meeting, but, oh my God, it's another Zoom meeting, or another doctor's appointment, right? It's just this thing, oh my God, I have to go through this again. And maybe I'm not the only one feeling like this, and nobody ever said, yay, another Zoom meeting, I want to join it. But I think that's something we can work on to create experiences, to make these meetings, doesn't matter what it is, training workshop, to make them just more unique and more exciting for people, that they at least not regret joining them.
Yeah, that's right. Perhaps we've all been in those long draining virtual meetings, I think. And according to you or your experience, you make or you run many workshops about this. What are some specific ways that tech tools can usually make online meetings more enjoyable or valuable for the participants? Can you give perhaps some examples using the tools you mentioned No, you didn't mention.
I didn't mention yet, but we can talk about this.
Yeah.
First of all, there is more than just Zoom. There is more than just Google Meet. There's more than just Microsoft Teams. So it's not so, okay, I use Microsoft Teams, for example, and then that's it. And then I have to work with whatever I got. Most of the tools, there are exceptions. So most of the tools that don't have that many features, or there are features that everybody know, right? I mean, you have the chat, you have reactions, you have breakout rooms. I mean, all of them have them, but you can also use other tools inside of a Zoom meeting. I mean, this sounds like a no-brainer, but yeah, you can use something else than just sharing your screen and using PowerPoint. And there are so many tools. There are more tools than one can handle. So I'm not saying use everything, but if you know what Mentimeter is, right? Or Slido, which is kind of the same. You can create polls and word clouds and even have slides, create quizzes. It's a separate tool, but you can implement it into a Zoom meeting or a Microsoft Teams meeting or whatever. Using tools like Miro, for example, which I use a lot. And again, this is also, you don't have to use a Miro board and then just add sticky notes to a board. I mean, that gets boring over time, just like Zoom meetings get boring over time. Yeah. If you dive deeper into it and you look at all the examples and what others do, what others demonstrate, or if you ever joined someone else's workshop, so, oh, this is more than just adding sticky notes to a board. You can create, I'm not even talking about fun things, but more engaging things, more interesting things, more engaging things in general. And there are a lot of these tools that you can just add. And there are also tools like, I talk a lot about Butter, for example, which is, even if I say, if you don't know what Butter is, it's like Zoom. No, it's not. I mean, yes, it's also a tool for, yeah, it's a video conferencing platform. That's what they have in common. But the tool itself has a lot of features inside it. You know, there are polls, there are flash decks, there are there's integrations of certain features that others don't have. So just trying out something like this, for example, would make a great difference. As soon as I start, whatever it is, a workshop, a training, my cats start fighting. They wait for me. And I could hear them through my noise-canceling headphone. Okay.
They want to have your attention, I think.
Right, and I don't know, maybe they can smell it as soon as I'm really in a meeting. There's immediately
this
start.
could also be engaging, yeah? Showing up your cat, for example. It could also be...
I like that. I personally like when I see a cat walking through somebody's room, for example, because it makes stuff personal and more relatable.
This is a good point. We talk about technology, we talk about tools and so on, which can engage participants more. But you mentioned now the private surrounding of a setup, for example. There's a cat walking over the table or something like this. And this makes also, I think, in my opinion, it creates confidence to the people. Yeah, it's human, I think. So why not?
I think it's totally fine. So whatever makes you comfortable. However, I think nobody should ever just apologize if somebody walking through the picture or through the camera. I am in your home, so why are you apologizing to me? Right? You are letting me into your home, so please stop it. So everything is fine. Or if you have to go and look for your kid for a second or whatever it is, everything is totally fine. I think we are so used to it.
So that's the point. Let's come back to the technology. What kind of tools are you using generally when you are running a workshop, when you're conducting a training or something like this? What do you recommend?
So I personally, when I do my every meeting, so there is not a single meeting where, even right now, you cannot see it, but even right now I'm using it. One of my very favorite tools is OBS Studio. And for those who don't know what OBS Studio is, it creates a virtual camera, so I can add things to my face, add things to my background, add slides or screen sharing or images and so on. And I can just do this, for example, right?
Great, yeah.
And then I have my two cats here, and I have a little bit of branded colors around me, which actually match my brand and what I'm representing. But this is just a small example, because a tool like this, and of course, no hate, that there is also a tool like Ecamm Live, which does similar things if you're a Mac user. But the advantage of this is I can just add everything to it that I like. And it's not only about screen sharing. There are so many things I could do with a tool like this that allow me to create engagement, and even more, to make a Zoom call not look like a Zoom call. I mean, my goal often is people, if you put me on full screen, right, and I'm presenting something and I'm doing a webinar or training or whatever it is, you should forget about that we are in a Zoom meeting. And that's what I said in the beginning. Right? When you hear the word Zoom meeting, but once you just let go, okay, I'm just listening to this guy or watching what he's doing and demonstrating, you will forget that this is just a Zoom meeting or Teams meeting, or it's something different, and you can achieve things like this with these tools like OBS Studio or Ecamm Live. I really cannot remember the last time I just used my camera in a meeting. Because I always have
your
something
original
prepared.
camera.
Right, the raw camera, just selecting my camera. No, I always have something, because I crop it a little bit. So we were speaking about where are you working. If I would show you, I will not how my camera actually looks. It shows I'm in my bedroom, and it shows half of my bed. It shows my window at the left. You don't want to see this. You don't need to see this. But with a tool like this, I can just crop out all the things that I don't want you to see. And then I can show you just my natural background. So it's just a compromise between us, and it works great.
Yeah, you mentioned this. You want to forget people that we are in a Zoom meeting, right?
Right.
That's a great sentence, really. I like it. I love it.
And to take it further, I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes I watch like live streams. When you're on YouTube, for example, or on LinkedIn. I'm not on Twitch or TikTok or anywhere else, but let's talk about these two. And sometimes you watch one of these live streams and you enjoy them. I mean, there's somebody talking about something that's really professional, about, I don't know, the art of presenting or whatever it is. And I think if it would be a Zoom meeting with the same content, I wouldn't join it, probably. But there is something about this live streaming experience, and it's the same person, it's the same content, it's a video and a microphone, but still there's something about live streaming that makes a difference. And kids watch it. You know, everybody likes to watch like a live streaming thing, and you cannot even talk to them. I mean, you have a chat, and if you're lucky, they will respond. If not, you are just chatting with the other people in the audience, but you are part of the. You are just part of this whole. You're part of the community. Maybe your name pops up. Hey, Saeed asks a question, so and so, and then he was. I cannot talk, but still, I'm recognized, and this is something you can also create in a similar way in a Zoom meeting, or in a video conferencing environment by just using the same techniques that people use there, and they're established. That's why people like, as I said, like to watch, and why people have all these creators have so many followers on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
So why not using these techniques and applying them to your
usual conference, to
a usual conference, and it's not that hard to do.
There is the word Zoom fatigue or video conferencing fatigue. I was thinking about this word, and yes, I can understand, but I think it's not the right word, because it's not about Zoom or Google Meet or Teams. It's about the making. For example, we can, me at least, I can watch 8 hours Netflix, 8 hours in front of a television, in front of a screen. It's no problem for me, and I love it. Yeah, so it's more or less about the how do I appear on a video conference. And you mentioned some tools, for example, chatting, not only the chat, but they pop up something, or like OBS Studio, there are different scenes or something like this. Do you have something, an example, or can you show something? How do you work, for example, with chat? I know when I'm in your workshop, there are popping up some special things. I love this very much. Perhaps you can show us a little bit.
Probably not shown because they are not set up for today's session. However, things maybe I can try and see if they work out. Well, let me check. You were asking about tech. I'm just scrolling through my Stream Deck because I have buttons for everything, but I'm not 100% sure if they also work here. This alone, and of course it's still the same camera, but you have something moving on screen.
That's the point.
And, there are studies about this. Don't ask me about details because I'm not a professional in this. But if you watch something for longer than I don't know what the attention span is, there are so many seconds. Let's say it's 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the fatigue starts to come in. Okay, he's talking and for longer than 20 seconds and he hasn't moved. I can only see your lips moving. Okay. What I don't say is you don't have to do this overproduced stuff where every 10 seconds there are hard cuts and cameras changing. No, I'm just saying, okay, keep me awake. Okay, if there's something that even if it's presenting a PowerPoint, if I'm staring at the same slide for 7 minutes, or you could have like less text, right, and only one word, and then change between them. So, there is something moving again, and then my attention comes back, and I'm focusing on you again. And we are, we as facilitators, as presenters, or as educators. I mean, especially if you do something remote, you are fighting against a lot of things, especially against distraction. I mean, while you are talking, I am folding my laundry. I have my camera off first of all, because why should I have it on? That you don't need to see my face, right? As a participant, I'm muted, and I'm reading my emails, or I'm working on this presentation for the next call I have, or on this one email, or I'm on social media. In worst cases, it does have nothing to do with work. But if you can keep people's attention on watching you, focusing on you, and these are just the small effect, like having a quiz, for example. And I know you did something similar. I saw it on your YouTube channel, and Claudio, who you also had on your show, does stuff like this. And having a little quiz, and then the question pop up on my somewhere here around my chest, and then people start watching, and I ask a question, and then people start typing things in the chat, so I know they are there, they are watching, and their fingers are active. It is maybe the best I can get. Depends on how big the crowd is, right?
I hear an interesting point. Some people set up rules before the meeting started. For example, camera on and all this stuff. It could be work, but you try to engage the people by being interesting, by giving some some variation of visualization and so on. To let them decide by themselves, I want to engage, I want to put my camera on, right?
Right, so the question is, why should I turn my camera on? And also, I also have ground housekeeping rules I sometimes show. And unfortunately, there they are. If you want to, I could just quickly switch to one of my scenes and show you, because you said usually people do this. I literally do this. So this looks like this. Let me look for my other camera, this one. And here we are. And now I have a fake background, but because I was just playing around, I wasn't prepared. But as you can see, I actually like have these rules, but they are here. So
Great.
please make sure you're on mute, right?
Yeah.
It's not about saying this, people should be on mute, they know this, but there's something happening on my screen and something is popping in and out. And I have the same for the next rule as please feel free to turn your camera on. And then, because probably something will happen if you have your camera on and you can be part of the show, okay? And my third one usually is this one, so always pointing in the wrong direction is this one, which is use the chat to send reactions, because also usually I have like, if you send a reaction in Zoom, it will be floating through my room, but you have these little smileys behind me that are floating around, and people use the chat more. And sometimes just try to be playful with me and send me like random or some silly emojis. Okay, that's fine. I know you are there. I know you listen to me. I know you're still watching. So if you want to send like a poop emoji or whatever it is, I don't care. It's just let's have fun together. As long as you are there and awake, everything is fine. And then last but not least, also having something about, if you have questions in the chat, please.
And this is quite interesting. If you are following Saeed on YouTube, for example, or also LinkedIn, the snippets, you show there what you are doing with Miro board or with OBS Studio. It's really so exciting. And me, for example, my videos are always around 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And if you don't have the patience, look to Saeed. It's really, really great. I follow every one of your videos, and so you can get some inspiration how you can work. Saeed, I will put all the descriptions, the links in the description below. Your website, your LinkedIn profile, your YouTube channel, and thank you very, very much for this insights. And I can only recommend, we can only scratch the surface in this 25 minutes, I don't know right now. But it's worth it to dive deep into Saeed's stuff, because it's engaging, and this is important for the audience, for facilitator, trainer, coaches, presentators, everyone. Thank you. Your last words, and you now you have your frame around you. It's 16 by 9 in the size, so that means that I have to be a little bit creative later in the post production. Let us see.
But see, there is the magic, and now it's gone.
There's the magic. Yeah, that's great. I love this magic.
Thanks a lot for having me and inviting me to this episode. Hopefully we will meet again next time to dive deeper in our conversation. As if 25 minutes, it's not a long time. But my last words probably: life is too short for boring meetings. So let's change this and make them more exciting and more enjoyable.
And my proposition is that we meet again, for example, 3, 4, 5 times, and we dive deeper into one tool, one after the other, and show perhaps a little bit what people can do with these tools. This would be a great idea for the audience too.
Let's do that. Thanks a lot.
Let's do that. Thank you very much. And to our audience, please comment below what you are resonating with in this episode, and ask some questions. What do you want to see from Saeed next time? Which tools do you want to see? Let us know. Wish you a very, very pleasant time. See you next. Bye-bye.
See you.
Just one question. Thank you for watching. See you soon to get back to the point.